All right, so let's talk about solving another absolute value equation, specifically maybe one where you get a weird answer. It's one of the special cases. So let's see if we can figure out how do we know that we have that situation. And in order to understand that you have that situation, you kind of have to understand what absolute value actually means. So absolute value actually means the distance away a number is from zero on the number line. So think about distance. Distance is always positive. You can't have a negative distance. You can't have like negative 5 feet. You can have 5 feet that way, 5 feet that way, but it can't be negative. So absolute value is always positive. So like for example, if I simplified this and I got like a negative 10 for my answer, let's say. We take the absolute value of negative 10 and we get a 10. It always turns positive. And then we continue on with simplifying the example, right, and solving it. So absolute value is always positive. And that's one of the main things you need to keep in your head as far as solving some of the special cases. So when it comes to solving an absolute value equation here, so let's take a look at this example here. When it comes to solving these equations here, one thing that we do always want from the beginning is that we want the absolute value bars to be by themselves on one side. So for example, I have this +4 over here. I don't want this here because I want these bars all by themselves. So I'm going to start by moving that 4 over. So it's a +4, so I'm going to subtract 4 on both sides. I'm going to drop down my absolute value bars. And that is less than, 4 minus 4 is 0. And I want you to think about this for a minute here. Absolute value of x minus 7 is less than 0. Think about what that represents here. So remember what I just said. Absolute value is always positive. So it doesn't matter what number I get inside here, whether it's a 10, whether it's a negative 10, or anything like that, because it's always going to be positive. So I should always get a positive number over here. And positive numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So I'm not looking at anything on the negative side. So think about this. Can a positive number be less than 0? Right? Because anything that's going to go inside these bars is going to turn positive. So I'm going to have some positive number over here, but this says, hey, that's going to be less than 0. That's not possible. It's not possible to have a positive number less than 0. Anything less than 0 is negative, which means this is one of those examples that is not going to work. So if you're given an example where the absolute value is less than 0, or if it's set equal to a negative number or something like that, does not work. This is one of those special cases. It's unsolvable. There's no solution. Absolute value can never be negative.